You're going to a trade show. How are you training these guys? Some of them are going to be sales guys, some are going to be marketing guys, but they all have to speak the same language. How are you doing that?
We're big believers in doing a opening roll call. So before show starts, usually on a setup day, when everyone's there, getting the booth built out, looking at kind of the graphics go up, the shelves, the merchandising, as the booth is kind of slowly coming together, there's usually a moment or a day where we do kind of a dry run, right? So the brands we work with, we always advise them on, hey, make sure you have an intention on what you're trying to do at that show. If it's just brand awareness and, hey, we've already got the market share and everyone's covered and we already sell to everybody and everyone knows who we are, then great. There's less on the line. You're just kind of there showing off and saying, hey, we're still a player in the space, we're still playing the game, and we're here, right? For brands that are a little bit more new and they're trying to come out showing a new product or a new service, I think it's critical to have that initial powwow with the team, right? Whether it's the owners or management or executives or whoever it is, sales directive needs to come down from above and say, hey guys, this is the flow of the booth, right? When someone comes in, this is the engagement. We're gonna step up. We're gonna identify the prospect by asking for a business card or asking what territory they're from, or seeing even if we can even sell to this person or not, right? Otherwise, we're wasting time talking to somebody that we can't even sell to, right? Identify the customer is always part of our kind of checklist of training. Identify the customer and prospect. Are they a viable candidate? Should I be wasting my time talking to them? By wasting my time here, I may be missing somebody over there, right? So that's step one. Step two is, what are we here to sell? What is the intention of the show? Why did I even attend the show? Why are we here? So if we're here because the number one item right now we want to promote is item X, great, then immediately go there. Is there a warm-up item? Is our item X overwhelming and we want to kind of start somewhere else and then build up to that? So those are all things that you have to hash out as a brand. You have to identify why we're at the show, what our intentions are, what are we selling and promoting, what is the outcome of the show, what does the perfect outcome of the show look like, right? So if I had a magic wand and I asked you, hey, we came here and you sold, let's say Costco, Walmart, Target, whatever. Who are you trying to get placement with? I'm trying to open Dubai and Singapore and Malaysia. Great. Whatever those intentions are, identify the best case scenario, identify what it would look like for that customer or those buyers to take XYZ product, and then really hone in and narrow your focus on that, because the entire team needs to collectively be aligned on what is it that we're here to sell, what is it that we're here to promote. If someone says, ooh, what's this over here? You're like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. We kind of blow it off, move over back to item X, and this is what we're really pushing and showcasing. That's where the margin is. That's where you've identified that that's where they're gonna have the most success in selling. If they were to pick up any item, this is the item that's gonna work for them. As a result, they're gonna reorder or come back and replenish or come back for next year's program. All of those things are catalysts that happen because you focused on selling item X. So I think that's the core part of the training process. And then how they sell it and how they pitch it, of course, is going to be up to your salespeople to kind of help digest it for the consumer and help the buyer understand how that's going to be relative or matter to them, right? But that opening powwow is pretty important. And then we also advise brands to do nightly recaps, right? So at the end of every show, you have a little recap. What was the best thing that came out of today? Who were the immediate follow-ups? And then a big piece of this is at the end of the show, you want to do a recap of the full show, not just for your sales team and the people that attended, not just at dinner and we all talk about, oh, cool, what was your best takeaway? Oh, no way, remember that? That was awesome how blah, blah, blah came by. That's going to be great. So you want to do a full recap back to the entire company, okay? And what that means is a lot of times your other folks, your operation folks, are fully left out. Your graphic designers, for example, fully left out. They're designing stuff that you're out there selling that's ultimately going to make it into retail or get placement, whatever, e-com, wherever it's going to go. These people are producing, manufacturing, designing, ideation, all of those layers that are working on getting these items to the show, to the retailer, to vendors, to global distributors, whatever it is you're promoting. And they never get to hear anything that happens.
Great point.
They never get any exposure as to what happens, what took place, what did people like, what was the feedback, what was the comments. When you're sitting there pitching something and someone says, oh, well, I like it because of this, or I'm not a big fan. You need to log that right away, because that's all part of your recap. That all has to go back to all the folks, the creative directors, the operations people. All of those people need to know, hey, that little flap magnetic thing you put on there, people didn't like that. Or maybe that's just money that we're spending on a whatever acrylic, whatever insert on the thing when you pull it open. Nobody cares. right? So those things, like I think everybody has to, all the sales folks have to embody the brand and the products and the services at such a level where it matters to them. They have to know that there's, you know, longevity in the product for them, and there's going to be a lane to sell more, or, you know, or be able to introduce new products to the market if they relay that information to everybody, including the front desk person, the interns, the e-com person. All of those people have to know what you guys just went and experienced at that show.
That's a great point. And all hands right after the show for everybody to join. I love that.
100%. Not just an all hands, but also like a detailed review. And maybe this is an AI thing. Maybe this is an AI thing where you give it the full recap and say, hey, here's all the, you know, market feedback from what we learned. Also, it's signals. Like if somebody, you know, is saying this is the item everybody wants, and you're just getting every single time you show it, everyone's, you know, gravitating towards this one item. That's a signal that, you know, forecasting, your manufacturing department, your production team needs to know, oh my God, maybe we should ditch these other 2 items because this other item here is what everybody's pushing towards, what everybody wants. We need to beef up. If we're printing whatever 10,000 units of these 3 items, this other one needs probably triple that or quadruple that. Whatever the number is and how you scale it is based on the signals you get at the trade show. Remember, don't forget, and you know how I feel about this, trade shows to this day, pound for pound, the best ROI you can get out of any marketing. There's no other world where you walk in with a sample and walk out with purchase orders. No other world. That's why people go to trade shows. That's why trade shows are so important. And utilizing the show and leveraging it the right way to pull information. It's real-time data that you're getting from buyers, from, you know, prospects, real-time data. But you need to be able to go back to your team and relay and convey all that.